Pizza night, come along. I begin by combining warm water, sugar, and yeast in a bowl. Give it a quick stir, let it sit for 10 minutes, then add salt, olive oil, and flour. Mix everything together until a shaggy dough forms. Next, turn the dough onto a floured surface and knead it for a few minutes, adding more flour if necessary. I want the dough to be smooth and no longer stick into my hands. Then I'll place the dough ball into a greased bowl and let it rise until it doubles in size, usually an hour to an hour and a half. Once the dough has risen, punch it down to release the air, turn it onto the counter, and divide it into 2 portions. Then I'm going to shape each portion into a tight dough ball and place it back into a greased bowl until I'm ready to use it. Once it's time to make my pizza, I grab my dough ball, place it on a floured countertop, and dust the top with flour. Gently rub the flour onto the dough, then pick it up and stretch it out. If you prefer a thinner, crispier crust, use a rolling pin. However, for this, I'm going to get a slightly thicker crust, so I'm just using my hands to shape the dough. At this point, you can shape it into a circle or a rectangle or whatever shape you'd like. I'm going to surprise my toddler by making this into a heart pizza. You can see how easy it is to manipulate the dough by just using your fingers, so it's pretty easy to get whatever shape you prefer. So once the dough is shaped, I'm going to grab my wooden peel and dust it with cornmeal. This will help the pizza slide off of the peel and right into the oven when I'm ready to bake. Then I grab my dough docker, and this is going to help to prevent any air bubbles and the dough from rising too much when baking. If you don't have one of these, a fork will work just fine. So I'm going to give it one quick final shaping before I'm going to add the toppings. The first topping I'm going to add is the tomato sauce. So we'll go ahead and spread that all over the pizza, and then I'm going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese, adding a little bit of mozzarella, and then some pepperonis, and a little bit more cheese. Then I'm going to take some olive oil and minced garlic and brush it on the crust of the pizza and drizzle a little bit on top of the pizza, which is going to create a nice browning. We'll bake this at 500 degrees on a baking steel for 8 minutes. Once it's done, look at that.